A long time ago, there were two buddies who were merchants. They needed to decide if they should go together because they were both preparing for business travels to sell their merchandise. It would be too crowded to go at the same time, they decided, as they were both traveling the same distance in around 500 carts. One of them concluded that going first would be much better. He reflected, "The road will not be rutted by the carts. The bullocks will be able to choose the best of all the grass. We will find the best fruits and vegetables to eat. My people will appreciate my leadership, and in the end, I will be able to bargain for the best prices." After giving it some thought, the other merchant saw that there were benefits to coming in second. "My friend's bullocks will eat the old rough grass, and new tender shoots will spring up for mine to eat," he reasoned. "His carts will level the ground so we won't have to do any road work. Similarly, they will harvest the older fruits and vegetables while new ones develop for our consumption. I can take the predetermined price and turn a profit without wasting time haggling." He thus consented to let his pal go ahead. This friend started the voyage first, since he was certain that he had tricked him and defeated him. The trader who went first encountered some difficulties. They arrived at a region known as the Waterless Desert, where the locals claimed that demons were present. The caravan encountered a sizable gathering approaching from the other direction when they arrived at its center. Their carts were covered in water and covered with muck. In their hands and on the carts, they carried lotuses and water lilies. "Why are you carrying these heavy loads of water?" asked the merchant, displaying a haughty and condescending demeanor. "You will soon arrive at the horizon's oasis, complete with lots of water to drink and dates to eat. Throw away the water and show some kindness to your weary bullocks. They are exhausted from lugging those hefty carts full of extra water." The merchant was not aware that these were demons in disguise rather than actual people, despite the locals' warnings to the contrary. Even the possibility of them eating them loomed. He took their advice, trusting that they were good people, and all of his water spilled into the ground. They found no oasis or water at all as they proceeded on their journey. Some began to complain and criticize the merchant after realizing they had been tricked by entities that could have been demons. By the end of the day, everyone was exhausted. Due to scarcity of water, the bullocks lacked the strength to pull their bulky carts. Everyone and everything, even the animals, collapsed into the ground in a state of profound slumber. And lo, throughout the night, the demons appeared in their actual terrifying shapes and devoured all the helpless, defenseless creatures. After they were through, all that remained of any human or animal was bones strewn around. The second merchant started his journey in the same manner after a few months. Upon reaching the wilderness, he gathered all of his followers and informed them, saying, "I have heard this place is haunted by ghosts and demons. It's called the Waterless Desert. As a result, we need to exercise caution. Please ask me before drinking any local water, as there may be toxic plants and bad water." They entered the desert in this manner. Similar to what happened with the earlier caravan, they were confronted by the water-soaked demons in disguise approximately halfway through. They advised them to discard their water as the oasis was close, but the astute businessman quickly saw through them. He was aware that having an oasis in the waterless desert was absurd. Besides, he thought these folks might be devils because of their aggressive, pushy demeanor and protruding red eyes. "We are businessmen who don't throw away good water before we know where the next is coming from," he said, telling them to leave them alone. The merchant then told his own people, "Don't believe these people, who may be demons, until we actually find water," realizing that they were doubting him. They can be pointing to a mirage or phantasm rather than the real oasis. In this so-called waterless desert, have you ever heard of water? Do you see any storm clouds or sense any rain? They all said no, and he went on. "If we follow the advice of these strangers and discard our water, we might eventually run out and be parched, making it simple for demons to attack and steal from us or even devour us. Thus, don't squander a drop of water till we actually find it." The caravan proceeded, and that nightfall arrived at the location where the demons had slaughtered and consumed the humans and bullocks of the earlier caravan. The bones of people and animals were scattered around, along with the carts. They knew that the bones scattered across the yard and the fully loaded carts belonged to the previous procession. The shrewd merchant assigned some individuals to keep an eye on the camp during the night. They ate breakfast and gave their bullocks plenty of food the following morning. Most of the valuable items from the first caravan were added to their merchandise. In order to enjoy their earnings with their families, they safely made their way back home after completing their voyage with great success.